I'd say we're going to see the squeeze fade quite a bit from these two today.
I thought I had a fair chance, but maybe 1 in millions. Did I complete 180? No, I'm going that right way. I thought I had a fair chance.
Welcome to the Squeeze Fade podcast. We are back. My name is Austin. Dustin, how are you?
Doing well. Yeah, good to be back. Not as long of a break between the last couple, but as usual, a lot of updates, a lot of fun things to talk about. First update, just kind of tying into the last conversation we had on the podcast a couple weeks ago. New sponsor, TGL. So we are all in. We are rooting on our prospective teams here next season, and just super pumped up to be fans. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I know that you were just locked in all year on your squad. So, I know Juplinks did not get it done. I don't think. I think they got ran off the court. But we'll see. My Bay Area club, we'll be back.
We'll be back. Yeah. No, obviously, all jokes aside there, no sponsors. I did want to share, I think I told you a little bit about it, but, potential Titleist sponsorship coming up. Got an email from their Gmail account. Looking for some content creators to, help out with different things they have on their release schedule. And so excited about that potential sponsor coming through as well.
Sounds like at work when we get those phishing emails that we have to report phishing to test our security.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love it.
A little late for the April Fools on those, but I thought those would be fun to share and get your thoughts on.
Yeah, I mean, we got a good list of stuff. I mean, this is one of the best weeks of the year, Masters Week, all that goes into it. We're going to talk some of that. We have to talk Tiger. I know it's not a PGA Tour podcast, but he's not really on the PGA Tour much anymore. So we got some Don Ray, stuff. We're going to talk a little bit of rollback. Club Champion. I want to do a deep dive. I had a guy visit Club Champion that I know, and I got all the stats. So I'm trying to get your opinion on his bag fitting. And then maybe talk some indoor golf. So I think we got a good run of show here. Maybe what's been new with you? Have you played any golf? What you been up to?
Yeah, no golf on my front. Actually was heading down to Iowa today to play with a couple guys and the Tesla charger halfway there was shut down for updates or whatever. So a little anti-Tesla at the moment, just because I wasn't able to get outdoors and play, but have been hitting a bunch of balls. Actually signed up for our local sections match play. Got a couple emails out to try to get some pro-ams going this year, and depending on how things go and how the swing's feeling, which right now is feeling good. Maybe playing like the section championship and see if we can't finally obtain that goal of making it to the national.
Yeah, and I think because you have your facility and you practice indoors, a lot. I'd love to kind of follow along probably with your tournaments, and I'm sure people, as they want to join facilities, want to know, if I practice indoors, how can that translate, or what can I do to translate outdoors? That's something I've been thinking about a lot lately is, how do you translate, how do you practice with a purpose indoors and not just go in there and beat balls? But yeah, it'll be fun to follow along. That's exciting.
Yeah. And on that note, we have I have a new student at the club. Younger guy, started within the last year, higher handicap when he first joined the club. And I think 2-3 lessons in, he's already down virtually to a 7 or an 8 handicap from a 28. So we were going to start like a video series and do like how fast can we get to single digits from a 28. We didn't film a single lesson yet, and he's already there. So it'll be interesting as well with him to see, somebody newer to the game, how that translates outdoors. He has an official gin now as well. So we'll be able to keep up with the scores he posts and things like that. But yeah, it's good to highlight those because my conversations are always, very positive around that. I went out this year from the last winter to the last summer, and my scores were 3 to 5 strokes better just from hitting balls and knowing my distances. There's some new features this year that are even better, like map my bag, and we made a video on like how to use on course practice and get some better data there. So I curious to see scores and how things come through going into next year, and we have a good list of people to pull from to get that data.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I haven't played any indoors, but I have played one round outdoors. I got my first round in, at the home club, Shoal Creek Golf Club,
Yep.
public facility. But played with a couple guys from work, and had a little 2v2, just normal type stuff, and played like I would say decent. For first round, putting was not great. Shot 77, and yeah, it was a couple really bad doubles on the back, like just bad. Just
Definitely gonna sneak in like that.
Yeah.
Those first few rounds, right?
Yeah, putting was very up and down. I'm still rocking the blade putter.
Oh, yeah.
Still fighting it. I'm still fighting it. But overall, like I was fine. I hit a lot less drivers. I know we've talked about this in the past. Of when I went to Arizona, I didn't even take driver. Just took 3-wood. I put the now I have matching Adams hybrid and 3-wood in the bag. So the old speed line retro. So I have it's like a 3 hybrid and a 3-wood, and then I still have that Srixon like kind of like 2-iron, driving iron type of deal. So between those three, I mean, most
Full
every
arsenal.
hole I'm fine. I hit driver on I think 2 par 5s, hit it really well, just didn't try to do anything crazy. But yeah, no, I was pretty happy with at least the ball striking, first round out.
Yeah, out at Shoal, like what do you normally shoot, or is it 9 holes that you're usually playing? Like what is 77 relative to a normal day?
I would say out there, I mean, it's been hit or miss, like if I play 9 or 18, but I'm anywhere between 75 and 79 out there. So I'm
Okay.
pretty much on par with it. It's a par 71. So a little bit different there, but overall, like it's a very fun track and good to get out and at least hit some balls out on some grass.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was excited for today.
Right.
It's just, the real turf interaction, what you're feeling indoors, does that match outdoors? But the reason I asked that question is like you and I've played a handful of times indoors over the winter. And I think both of our last rounds last year were the same day. So, curious if the limited but practice that you got indoors, if that felt like it translated well, or how things shook out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, just feeling like the contact of the ball, and be able to, I mean, with TrackMan, obviously you can tell where did I hit on the club face and, what's my dispersion and all that. But it's really just making clean contact. I know we've been focused, any of my rounds, it's just hit the ball in the center of the face, really. And that's like, that will help. But overall, like, yeah, super pleased. I would love to be inside more. We've talked about, I don't really have a place, currently, but we're working on it. And I think that would help me kind of come out of the gates a little bit hotter and maybe playing some tournaments as well.
Yeah. I mean, one of my emails today to just try to set up a pro-am round, but was like, hey, no longer with TrackMan, now have the ability to play.
Yeah.
So, it completely makes sense. Like when you have the space to do it and actually want to practice a little bit more and see the progression and and then also a little bit of time helps as well. But
Yep.
you also prioritize what's important. So
Yep.
yeah, like I think in general, I think you should sign up for something this year. And just like the tournament nerves are different. I don't think I played any last year, but the years prior, like played in the section championship and played in the match play and whatever events I could get my hands on, and it's a different feel. Like you hit one bad shot and hypercritical and it can go downhill fast. And
Yep.
even the pro-ams with like your buddies or members, same kind of thing. Like it can build up and you look at the score and you're like, oh man, like things got out of hand there. And so yeah,
in your
it's good to get
section,
in that.
are people like competitive, or do you have some guys who are just out there to kind of hang out and get a day off, or like what's the vibe in your section?
It's a good mix. I would say it's probably like 50-50 of like people trying to compete and make a little money, and the other half is out to network or hang out. Yeah, get outdoors, get away from the house, play a cool golf course. That's generally my reason, is like
Right.
when they put the good golf courses on the list, I'm like 100% signing up for that.
Right.
But one thing, and like we both did, I think the PGA survey recently, and my only note of like negativity towards the section was like there's just not a lot of tournaments unless you're a green grass professional and generally an assistant. I dug in today to see if I could play in like the assistant chapter tournaments, but you have to be an A8. Like that's the only way in. And I think they have 5 additional tournaments a year, and they play some cool venues. But yeah, if you're not like in a pro-am, which now I have some luxuries and some people that are interested in joining. But if you're not playing in the pro-ams, you have like 4 tournaments a year to pull from, and or maybe 5 or 6, and you need a partner for a couple of those. And so it's a little interesting in that dynamic. And I remember the Southern Texas section. It's like every other day there's a
Right.
tournament for pros, and not always pro-ams, and just get out and play, and a lot more competitive fields, I felt like. But yeah, I would love to play in more tournaments, and I think that would be nice to see. What about y'all's section? Like, I know we looked at it maybe a year or two ago, but I think y'all have a good mix of like opportunities to play and some cool courses and things like that.
I think so. I think it's pretty spread out, being like the Midwest section or whatever it is. Like you're going pretty far into Kansas, and then when I was in Oklahoma, they had some good events. Like they had some good courses down there. The Midwest section raised the dues recently, so maybe we can play at some decent courses. But
Yeah.
no, I need to look into that, because I remember when you went through yours, it was a lot of pro-ams, like you mentioned. Like it's just a ton of pro-ams. What is your classification right now?
I don't even know.
Yeah. I couldn't, because I guess when we were at
think it's like
Trackman, we were probably
facility
like
owner,
830 or no, it's like
824,
yeah, something
819.
Yep.
Yeah, some rep, tech rep or manufacturer rep, I think was the title there. But yeah, now it's like either general manager, owner, or facility owner. But yeah, it's a different
because
one.
a lot of tournaments are like pro assistant, or like head pro and assistant. There's a ton of those. Like when I was in the Dallas section, ton of assistant tournaments or match plays, or like that I mean, which I guess is fine. Like that's totally fair.
They
but
definitely need it. Like, cause they're, I remember back in my days as an assistant, I went to Oregon and then down to Florida, and like it was brand new, like a way to meet other people in the similar positions. And I did partake in a few events up in Oregon, but yeah, it was just a good way to like meet other people in the similar line of work. But once, I guess the challenge with the PGA is like it's green grass or nothing, or paid or nothing. And so like, when you don't fit into any of those traditional roles, it can be a little tough to get out and play. But that's been improved upon now with the club and some pro-am opportunities, and there is a good way to earn money if you play well in those. So might see a little additional income this year. But it's I always wish more, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what the USGA does well, is like all the qualifiers and the 4 balls, and you can play in the US Open qualifiers and there's different divisions, so like there's a lot of playing opportunities, and then you have your local golf associations that also have a plethora of tournaments. So
it's definitely tempting to we talked about thinking about not thinking about doing it, but the people who have done it and moved from professional back to amateur, and mainly the PGA Tour players that have done that, but
successfully.
Yeah. But I think we need to make an effort to do more, playing more tournaments this summer, and because you're right, that's a different level of kind of adrenaline, and obviously holing out every shot, every ball. You gotta.
There's no gimmies.
Out. Yeah.
I mean, you 2.5 feet breaks 6 inches. Like, you got to hit it.
Right.
That's getting scraped up every day between us.
100%. Well, good. Well, let's talk Masters par 3 contest. What do you have on your mind about the par 3?
Well, there's a lot today, right? Like, Bryson bringing out Kevin Hart.
Because you're a par 3 guy. You love the par 3.
Always loved the Masters par 3. Like, that's, I've been once. We went Saturday, Sunday of the tournament, and I've always wanted to go on a Wednesday. I feel like, I think, one, you can bring your phone or a camera in that day, take pictures. But you walk the course, and then you go watch like the best players in the world have a blast with their family. I think it's, one day I kind of hope Aaron Rai wins this year, just so we don't have to have everybody like not holing out on every hole, right? I think it's gone a little too far. Did
you see what happened to Justin Thomas today? He made a hole-in-one, and then like the next hole DQ'd himself immediately, so that way he wouldn't have a chance to win.
Yep. That's like I don't think I saw any of the potential winners with a score by the 8th or 9th hole. Like, it was just, they just said their name and like no score, and it's like,
right.
Again, I understand it's fun with your family, and but it's become a little more of a an affair than an event.
I mean, when you have, like you mentioned, Kevin Hart, Jason Kelsey, out there, it's like, and then, I mean, they've interviewed Tommy Fleetwood's kid, it feels like, for an hour on TV. It's like, dude, give the kid a break. He can't hit it over the water yet. Like, he's trying to hit it. And it's, I don't know. It, like, everything in America.
They interviewed him on the way, like, right. But, before, it's like, dude, the kid doesn't need any added pressure. And he hit it far enough on both of them. It was just a little off, and like, but it's just, it was a little overproduced feeling today. And I was at the club for most of it, and like, towards the end, I just I'm just gonna head out and maybe catch the end of it at home. And whereas in the past I'd have been glued, like watching the TV the entire time and all the shots. But I talked to Eric Ruiz, who was there today, and he said it was a blast. They parked their chairs on 8, saw Keegan hit his hole-in-one, and said it was just unbelievable time. I think that was his first go-round, but
nice.
But So
It
I
did feel like I watched occasionally at work a little bit, just passing by, but it was it was more produced. Like
yeah.
I remember in the past, it was more just kind of, oh, we're watching kids run around and it's fun. Now it's like interviews with Jason Kelsey and interviews with the kids and Kevin Hart, doing something. It's like, come on, that's just too much.
Always entertainment. It
Yeah,
was just like nonstop entertainment at every second. They had Wyndham Clark in there talking in the booth, and it was hard to like keep up with anything. And then again, you see the score and you're like, is anybody even trying to play? Like,
right.
I didn't see that Aaron Rye won until like live from the Masters 2 hours later from Brandel or somebody. Like, just it's and I know they weren't trying to win it back in the day either,
Right.
10 years ago, like 15, 20 years ago. But yeah, like I want to see somebody do what Jimmy Walker did, like 8 under. Hole in one, birdie, birdie, birdie. Like you're
Just
going after
dominate.
everything.
Yeah.
Like it's practice for the tournament. So but
It is a good time, and I mean, you had the Champions Dinner the night before, and
yeah,
that's always like everywhere. People are what are people wearing? Who's sitting by who? What are they eating?
where they
What did
send the
Rory say?
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good, and of course, our guy Tiger was not there. Phil was also not there. I think Phil is dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, he
I've
said he
heard.
had some family issues
Yeah.
or yeah.
And it's always good to have Phil at Augusta, and have him, milling around a little bit. But Tiger wasn't there. He obviously had another accident, flipped his car.
Before we go there, I just want to. This is because of the Masters. This is the University of Michigan golf course. Also, a note to the NCAA championship men's basketball champion, Michigan Wolverines. Not a fan, but
I mean,
played.
we're Sam Houston guys. I didn't know
I
you were,
know. Oh, I know. No, I played this course with a couple of TrackMan guys a handful of years ago, and it's the only Alistair McKenzie course I've ever played. Specialty exhibit this week at Augusta
Nice.
with some of his work. But yeah, it's playing here and like hopeful one day our Pasatiempo trip and some other
Yep.
courses on our list, like just the green complexes and the undulations and the views into greens. Like it's a special experience. So anybody out there, if you can get your hands or your clubs on a McKenzie course, do it. It is well worth it.
I've heard the Michigan golf course is pretty legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get
Yeah,
out
we
there.
played 40 degrees, blowing 20 to 30, bundled up, and I would do it 100 times again. Like it was just the course was that good. So, but yeah, back to Tiger. Like,
Yeah, what are your thoughts when you saw that news? I know it's been a week or so, but what were your thoughts?
yeah, I think like I don't know if you've been paying attention in any Masters coverage, but like Jason Day, I think said it best. Like, and again, we're not a PGA Tour podcast, but it just like Tiger was like my idol. He's what got me into the game of golf. Like got me so passionate about it. Was my outlet growing up, and like just watching him struggle all these years has been tough. And like then you see 2019 and you're like, oh baby, and it's just been such a roller coaster. And hope he gets better. In the same breath though, like dude, you got to do better. Like you're gonna one day if you keep it up, you're gonna kill somebody or yourself. And like and I know there's special circumstances there, and like the expectations are a lot different than what any normal person deals with. So it's tough to watch, right? Like
Yeah.
I think we all are rooting and want success for him, but yeah, at the same breath, like find a driver. Like you'll figure it out. It'll get better with that.
It's hard because he has kids. I mean, we have kids. Like the fact that what you just said about he's putting other people in danger and himself. And this is not a one-time thing. Like he's rolled his car off a cliff in LA,
Twice.
just like, and then obviously had 2 others that he just was, asleep at the wheel, pulled over somewhere. But it's, he's gone through a ton with injuries and all that. But we talked about a little bit pre-show, but just be more vulnerable. You gotta ask for help. Like, the whole Tiger, like, I'm good, I'm strong type of deal. Like, I think we're okay now. Your golfing career is basically done. Like, you're not.
It's not basically done.
Yeah,
It's done.
it's done.
Yeah.
And even people like me who hope every Masters rolls around and Tiger's going to be there and all that,
100%.
which he still could be. Maybe if he next year, like, he at least can show up and play. Which I'd love to be at least one more time, before he fully hangs it up. But
yeah,
but man, you got kids. Just take care of yourself, and addiction's a hard thing, and but at least take care of yourself with a driver or something,
Yeah. It's brutal. It's it's like a car accident. Like, you don't want to watch, but you kind of have to. Like, what's going to happen next, man? And now it looks like he's hired the same lawyer that kind of got him out of the last one, and he's going international for his treatment, which like, we'll see how things pan out. But maybe 2027's the year for him, and makes a fun run, or at least a fun 36 holes at Augusta. And I mean, look, Freddie Couples is still playing.
Yeah.
Jack and Arnie played late in their careers. Like, we could see him a bunch more times, and hope too. But competitively, I don't know.
the hard thing is he's probably the only guy that, like, if he shows up, I'm still thinking, like, oh, there's a little bit of a chance maybe that he could find it, even though that's not true. Most likely not true. But no one else, I think that.
Oh, well, Scottie now a little, but
true.
Yeah.
But it's just something about, and that's why we all loved watching Tiger growing up. It's that, like, magnetic ability to draw you in. Every shot he hits feels like it's crucial,
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope, being a PGA member, being able to go to the Masters hopefully one day, and that's kind of, I think, a goal of mine is, would love to see Tiger at the Masters. At least just see him there. It's such a special place. He's had such a great history there. We need to make that happen.
100%. Yeah. Cause the year I went, he was not in it, 2014. So did not, or maybe didn't make the cut cause we were there Saturday, but, definitely didn't see him that week. Did see him at Pebble in 2019, which was awesome. Like, just, he has a lot of history there too. And, he was actually, was that right after his Masters win? I think so. We all thought, like, oh baby, it could happen. And, got to see Gary Woodland win, which was unbelievable. Topeka boy near you.
Yep.
So,
Which is insane that a professional golfer would live in Topeka, but
from Topeka. So
I think doesn't he still live around here?
I think he lives down in Florida.
Okay, that would make more sense. Yeah,
but I know he's a member. Well, I would assume he's still a member at Topeka Country Club. When I did my internship there, he came back twice, I think, that summer. And he was nursing a injury to his shoulder that year, but, like, came out and played a few holes with us, and super cool dude, insanely athletic, like, went and played college basketball at the local, I can't think of the name of the college, but they're in Topeka, before he went and played golf at Kansas. An athlete, which is, I don't know his age, but I think he's 39, 40, 38, somewhere in there.
He's like, I want to say he's like 42.
And he's fastest club head speed,
dude,
like on average this year, I believe. So, pretty insane. Like, he's in my pool for this week.
Before we move on, who you got? What?
I think we're gonna see Scottie pull a Tiger 97 this week. That's my assessment. I think he, maybe not by 12, but I think he's gonna win. I think the pressure. I was talking to a couple different people about this, and like the pressure's off. The kid's out. Everybody's safe, healthy, happy. Meredith is, no longer pregnant. We know that last few months for them is like insanely tough. He's got some time to rest and relax. I saw him working on just his grip at Augusta yesterday, I think, and that's always a good sign when you're going really simple. It's, hey, we're just trying to find a good feel and go out there and trust it. And McDowell won a U.S. Open that way. I have.
I kind of like that call. Like, just run away with it. Maybe win by 6, 8, somewhere in there.
Yeah, because Rory, I saw Rory say like it's going to be tough to get into double digits this week with how fast and firm things are. And I think he's right. I think you're going to see a lot of like 6, 7, 8s. And I think you're going to see Scottie at like 16. He's just going to have one of those weeks where everything lines up. I mean, again, not to keep harping that we're not a PGA Tour podcast, but like he is the best scrambler on tour by far. The best scramblers generally win when Augusta's the hardest. And he's had a couple bad rounds, but he's still like first or second or third and scoring average, and like he's got a win this year, like very similar stats to last year. I think I think we're in for a fun year. And then there's a lot of competition from other guys, so it'll be a good majors year, I think. Yep. See how those pan out.
Yeah, I like your direction there, because I think most people have kind of been like, oh, Scottie's struggling, it'll be tough. I got Patrick Reed this year,
dude.
A little. He's it's going to be tough.
I love Patrick Reed. You know this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, he's a good iron player. It's going to be very tough out there. He's a grinder. He can putt. I mean,
he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. He's back on tour now. Like is
he fully back, or I thought I saw he had to like play well this week or play well in a couple tournaments to get
he's
status.
Almost like got an automatic qualifying spot because of all the wins he just had on the DP World Tour. Like, yep. But dude, I think he's going to be up there. I really do.
I wish you were in the pool that we do, the Masters pool. I know you did it a couple years ago. Eldrick Taunt, I believe, was the name.
Yes. I didn't get the invite this year, but
well, I didn't either because it was under my old email. So Gabby, thankfully, was in it, and she's 4th year strong.
Nice.
But I can pass that along. There's still time to get that out. But yeah, Patrick Reed is in my pool, and my team name every year is Fat Pats. Gabby this year is now Mrs. Fat Pats. So it's a family affair, dude. Like
Love it.
Patrick Reed, the Augusta State and played at Georgia, didn't, either got kicked out or dropped out, whatever, and goes and wins 2 national championships, like at Augusta State. Pretty impressive individual.
Do you know all your players you picked off the top of your head?
Probably not all of them, but close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, you pull, like, it's basically I think it's the top 10 by rank. What is it? Rating to win or odds to win. You pick 2 from that, and then the next 10 you pick 2 from. So like my top 2 were Scottie and Cam Young, in the top tier, and then next was like, I don't even remember. But I got my last guy was Nico Echevarria.
Okay.
I do remember that.
Nice.
I got Gary Woodland in there.
Okay.
In 2014.
Cam Young's a tough one because he obviously like playing well, but that putter, it's like if it's on, you see what he can do,
Yep.
But the way he hits the ball is absurd. It's so good.
He's a great iron player too.
Yeah.
Like, and so that was kind of my thought there. I was in between like John Rahm. I know he's had some success this year on the other tour. Live tour. And
5-4.
5, yeah,
They play
X
72 holes
XV or
now.
V IV. But yeah, it's I don't know. They're like Rory could honestly come out and have a, just at peace this week. Had
Yeah.
some moments with Poppy earlier today. Like he could come out and play well. Brooks could sneak out. Like I think it's going to be a really fun one. But I still am sticking with like, I think it's going to be a blowout, and like, yeah, we're just going to be watching Scottie try to hold it together on the back nine on Sunday.
Well, every year it happens where it's like Brian Harmon, or it used to be Charlie Hoffman, would shoot like 8 under day one, or like 6. And I'm
Yep.
like, dude, he's going to shoot 30 under. Like, and then of course he, falls. But day one is so weird at Augusta. It's always someone will be leading at like 6 under, and then, the finish may be 6 under. It'll be something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I used to in the old days I would pick Charlie Hoffman every year because I knew like rounds 1 and like maybe 2 or 3
Yep.
he'd have an unbelievable round or the best round of the day, and then you're guaranteed like a cut made generally, and so
Yep.
yeah, he was always kind of a safe, smart choice down on the list.
Yeah,
But I that made me think I have Russell Henley.
Okay.
I know he's not a long knocker, but if the putter stays true and short game does well, like he could be the Charlie Hoffman this year and first
Yep.
couple rounds be in it. So yeah. But Victor's got a new girlfriend out
I saw
with
that.
him.
A lot of people
Feeling the
upset
flow,
about
like,
that.
Yeah.
Lot.
Tommy Fleetwood, hole in one today, like striping it well. If his putter gets hot, he could do. A lot of good storylines, and we're one sleep away from seeing what happens.
I know. Last thing on the Masters, are you a get up and watch the Jack and not Arnie, but like Gary Player and
Yeah, so, I used to, like way back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s. I was up because that like you get coverage at 2 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
But they would have that on early in the mornings. Nowadays, not so much. I'm usually like, yeah, it's definitely earlier than my normal work day starts. Like I'll be up 7:30 watching first couple people tee off and get into it. But yeah, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm gonna try to catch a lot tomorrow, and then catch some Sunday. I got some travel this week, but it's a great week. It's just, I don't know. They do it right. I sent you a video today that 90s throwback Masters with.
I'm telling you that blockbuster hot air balloon just whoo,
with the Goo Goo Doll,
yeah.
With that song playing in the background. It's just like that.
It was a vibe.
Yeah, with the colors, man. What those guys were wearing back then, the reds and yellows and plaids. I mean, I'm guilty of it. All I wear is gray and blue. Everyone wears blue. Just like that's just. I mean, that's all we wear, right?
Yeah, I saw. That's funny. I saw like 75% of golf shirts made, or 85% of golf shirts made, somewhere in that range, were blue.
Yeah,
and it was like, yeah, man. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, in North Berwick, we got those Loch Ness, and it's blue, but we got the Loch Ness like print. So I love what they're doing, and I just wish there's some greens and some reds and some tropicals, and like maybe not quite as flamboyant as Brooks Koepka's pants today, but
what about Jason Day's fishing gear he had on?
Sign me up. Sign me up.
I'm kind of like, that was edging towards back in the day. Like, let's get some stuff going,
I mean, Malbon's a little out of my price point, but I'm getting jacked up. They have some good stuff, and keep it interesting, and a little bit of vintage, a little bit of new, and I was a little like hesitant on Jason Day and that partnership, but they did it right this year. I liked the Marlboro like look last 100%. Year that they wouldn't let him wear, but like again, like that makes you think back to the 90s. We saw those in every magazine, like that ad, and like, yeah, it's
Well,
it's a vibe.
And maybe a little controversial, but we bought, some Sunday Red when we were at Wakanda Club, and I saw that they have a replica kind of shirt of his maybe amateur, that like peach kind of like stripe colored shirt.
Oh,
They're selling that now at Sunday Red, which
yeah,
could be some cash going their
be
way.
a good ad. Yeah,
I did know the shirt he was arrested in is sold out immediately.
I
So that
figured that's what I
yeah,
thought you were going with
no,
when
that
you
one's
said that. Is
that
I
that
have
one's gone.
one of our members. He's like, he collects anything golf, really, like most of us. But his big thing is head covers of what do you call them? Like their lineup photo.
Like the the
Yeah, you know what I'm
when
talking
they
about.
when they get arrested.
Bail or whatever that photo
Yeah.
is. Yeah, so he had the old Tiger on the driver. I sewed it up for him because it was starting to rip apart. And I come in the other day and he's like, "Well, don't need it anymore. I got the newest fit." And so, yeah, that was fun to
That's
see
sick.
a fresh one.
That's awesome.
But he's
Awesome.
Three Woods, the Scottie photo. So yeah,
I forgot Scottie got arrested.
oh man, yeah, that was a
Dude,
wild one.
the last person to ever get arrested in the piece of Scottie
Just makes no sense. The fact he came out and like shot 67 that day or something, or 71,
Right.
like no sleep, just
Yeah, if he didn't have the one bad round, he would have won the tournament. Yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm excited. We'll touch base next time, kind of recap maybe the Masters, but we got some maybe ball rollback, Don Ray. Like, tell me where you want to go from here on some of this Don Ray stuff.
well, maybe go into the club champion
Okay.
story, because I think there's 4 or 5 topics around kind of the Don Ray and indoor golf and coaching and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, let's hear what happened and kind of dive in. I caught a gist, but not not the full case.
So have a guy I know from work. He asking me, "Hey, I'm going to go get fit." Like, I would estimate anywhere between a 12 and a 17 handicap. Probably 15, 16
Average
handicap. Yep, average golfer. Got a good swing. Like, play with him a couple times, but he just doesn't play much and all that. So his clubs are very old right now. Like, I think he got them passed down from his dad. So he wanted to get a full bag fitting and buy new clubs, like entire set, driver all the way to putter. So this is everything.
Yep.
He was asking about going to Club Champion, or there's a place called Golf MD, which I'm sure you're familiar with here
Yep.
in the Kansas City market.
Oh yeah.
He ended up going to Club Champion. I talked to him today, and he was like, "Man, like, I want to talk to you about this Club Champion thing, because the price that I got at the end of this was a little bit shocking." So I don't even know how this is going to go, but I want to run down what they put him in. I think he ended up only going with the driver and the fairway woods at the moment, just because the cost. I'll get and want to get your opinion on it, because I know you've had some history with Club Champion. You kind of know that model, and is it a fair statement to say that they've kind of like not created the market of these like high end shafts, but that's their market, right? Is to sell shafts.
Yeah, I mean I think their whole like start is like, one, they're brand agnostic. So like they're not recommending a brand because they're sponsored or partnered with a brand. And then everything is completely custom and effectively perfectly fit for you, because they can snap any shaft into any head. They have the kind of unilock ferrules. So yeah, it's and then data, backing all of that, right? And
Right.
I think they were the first to kind of, maybe not, but I think they were the first to branch out and have multiple locations. But you have like Cool Clubs, and there's
Right.
a handful of others out there. But yeah, they're definitely one of, if not the most well-known club fitter in that regard.
All right, I'm gonna just read off what they fit him in, and then you're gonna guess what the total amount is for this bill. You're probably
Okay.
gonna get it probably close to right because you're experienced, but I was shocked by the number. All right, let's start with the driver. They fit him in the Callaway Quantum Triple Diamond Max 9-degree driver, the 2026 version.
Yep.
The fairway woods, both.
Well, hold on,
ping-
shaft.
We'll get there.
Or do you have? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have shafts. Yeah. I'll get there after I say the two ping. So 2 ping G440 fairway woods, a 5 and a 3.
Okay.
The shafts in all of those are, I haven't heard of this. It's the Artera, Aretera, Artera
New to me.
AO2 gray 65 in the driver, and then 2 of them, the blue 75X in the 3 wood and the 5 wood.
75X.
75X and 65X in the driver, it looks like.
Okay.
Unless the 75X is 3 wood and driver, could be.
No, that's probably the 75s generally would, so
let's
that
see.
makes sense. And then 65 would be driver, but
Yep,
just
yep,
X
exactly.
for somebody that's a 12 handicaps
I mean, he
newer. I believe it. Like there's a lot of guys that swing hard that
Yeah.
are higher handicaps, so
Yep.
I could believe it. Just wasn't
So-
expecting it.
there's a little note underneath both of those where it has an asterisk. It says Tour Performance Install and Puring on both of those shafts. We'll just leave that to be right now.
Mhm.
Moving into the irons, we have the Titleist T250 irons 2025. Not
Okay.
too familiar with like
That's the more like game improvement
Yep.
forgiveness iron.
and that's
yeah.
4 through pitch and wedge on that.
Okay.
We move into the wedges. We have a Titleist Vokey. Sorry, let me do the iron shafts. We have the Acura I-Series steel iron, 115 grams, Tour Performance install and puring as well. That's
Okay.
for the 4 through pitch and wedge. Then we have the Titleist Vokey SM11, 54 and 58, and we have 2 Nippon Modus wedge shafts in those, also pured as well. 13 Golf Pride Tour Velvet 360 whites, Titleist Scottie Cameron 2025 Studio Style Newport 2 putter, Super Stroke.
Blade. Blade putter.
Yeah, I know. I respect it. Super Stroke XL Tour 3.0 white putter grip, and obviously the fitting cost is wiped away to zero because if you buy the bag or whatever that is. So after all that, what would be your ballpark price range for that bag? And you probably were going to get it right.
It'll be close. Probably like 6,500 would be my guess.
So close. Grand total $8,355.
Gosh. I mean, I believe it. I believe it.
And I told him I told him to send me the stuff, and that's what I'm looking at. It's the shafts, like so the driver shaft is $545 for the shaft. The two 3 wood and 5 wood shafts are $545 each, so that's $1,090 plus $545 just for 3 shafts. That doesn't even include the actual club, which is $699 for basically the head of the Callaway Quantum Triple Diamonds. $700 for the head.
I mean, that's a $1,300 driver, $1,400 driver.
Yeah, I mean, you're paying $700 for the head. The shaft, you're not getting any credit back for the stock shaft that comes with it. There's nothing there. The woods are $369 each, the 3 and 5, and then moving down into the irons. The irons are $215 a piece, so that's $1,720 just for the irons.
Man,
and then
that
the
is-
shafts are $175 a piece. You're looking at $315, almost $400 per iron, for those irons. The wedges are $200 a piece, plus the Nippons are $170 a shaft, and then the Scottie Cameron putter is $499, and then the Super Stroke grip is $43. So it's just like, dude.
And then the Purines and
They've included the puring in the shaft cost because that Artera shaft I looked up is like $450 retail, so they've bumped it up to $545 to probably cover their puring and make some money and all that.
Yep.
But what's your reaction to that based on your knowledge of Club Champion, all that? Love to get your thoughts.
I mean, I can go on for days on this topic. As we discussed earlier in the day, like Miles used to work for Club Champion. He was a manager at a store. I've been in there and had him work with me a few times. You know, through our TrackMan days, like I had to train every Club Champion in my territory, which
Same.
included at the time Kansas City. So I've been into all those, in St. Louis, and yeah. But one, like that's, you kind of know that, like at our level, that you're going there for the best of the best. Like they're not the type of place to give you stock anything, right? Like they're trying to give you the best data. And yes, I understand like that is excessive for a 12, anybody over like a 5, honestly, like that's a little crazy. And there's people that spend that and they want that and they might do it every year. And get the latest, greatest, and the shaft that's newest and best for them, and all the power to you. But if you're balling on a budget, or a higher handicap, newer to the game, just getting serious about it, there's definitely better avenues. I won't knock them too much because that's their job. Like their job is to give you a tour level fitting each time you go in. So it's, like, is it shocking? Yes. But in the same breath, like, you kind of expect that. Like if you're looking to take it a little more serious, maybe go start at like, a Golf Galaxy or a PGA Superstore and see what they tell you. You don't have to buy anything, and they're like $49 for the fitting. You can get all that data, take it with you to somebody else, get a second opinion. You know, from my perspective in those days, like there was always some kind of special going on. So a lot of the guys are like, oh, I'm going to fit you into Callaway this week because they're giving me, payouts if I do this, or prizes. So like you may not get the best recommendations at those. You may get a really good fitter that does well. And then your second option is like go to the Golf MD, or what I tell pretty much every member up here. We have the luxury of Second Swing in town, based here in Minnesota. They do a wonderful job. Like you go in, you can try 20 different sets of used irons, different shaft and head combos. They can do a little bit of custom work for you, and get you dialed in, and you can trade in your old set and walk out of there for $300-400 with a brand new set that fits you better. So I push everybody in that direction, unless they're, they want to, spend a lot, and hey, like go get your driver fit from them. They're going to give you the best setup for you, and it's going to cost a lot, but it's going to be, a really good setup. So they fit their need well. But yeah, that's probably just a bad judgment. From
it's
there.
hard because, we know just from our experience and all that, but if you're, even my friend or other people, like you may not know, like I'm just going to go get fit for clubs. Right. And he did mention that as they're going through it, like they're not saying any prices. And I get why, because they don't want you to probably make decisions based on price. They want you to make decisions based on what, you're hitting the best and all that. But he's like, yeah, they didn't say anything till the end, and they just handed me this, this deal for $8,300 or whatever it is. But I think you're right. Like, of course, if you have money, and all that, like do whatever you want with it. That's what they're there for. But if you're above maybe even like a 10 and above, or 5 and above handicap, what's puring going to do for you? Truly, right?
Nothing.
I mean, like
Absolutely
you need to
nothing.
actually probably have instruction and lessons, and because even the fitting that you did, you're probably swinging it 10 different ways during that 120 shots that you just hit. And how do you know what swing is actually what's, going to produce on the course? And what if you now get lessons and now they don't fit? Those clubs don't fit anymore because you've gotten, it's that whole argument of what do you do first? Do you do lessons first? Do you do club fitting first? And in this example, I would do lessons first because, maybe go to Golf Galaxy, get some more modern equipment and then work your way into, upgrading the shafts and all that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like the guy I was telling you about earlier that's newer to the game of golf and started as a 28. Like he had a starter set and he's like, I want new clubs, not that I need them. And I'm like, look, take some lessons. Like you'll get a little bit better. You'll get a little bit more, a little closer to what like your final spot's going to be. And then go to second swing and ball out. Like, go find yourself some used clubs that are 3-4 years old and decently close on the shafts to where you're at and maybe a little above. So we went and got a new driver a couple days ago and, he's eyes light up. He's in there every day, just banging driver. And we all go through that, right? New clubs gets hyped up. We want to practice more. So I'm a big encourager of like, yes, always go, if you're thinking about it, go do it. If the resources are there. But yeah, like if it's making you play more golf and more excited about it, do it. But also like know that what you're getting into and
Right.
what your options are. And I think that's part of the problem with like, and I think where we're going to dive into here in a second is like the online world. There's just so much paid information. It's hard to know what people actually believe and what's real. And, we have some stories we probably can't share to this very similar topic. And it just, it makes you think like, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah, who's actually telling the truth or who is just getting paid to tell us something?
The hint at what I'm getting at, which we won't go into, is like, how often are you going to see Paige Sporonic or Max Homa in an X Golf? Probably never.
Yep.
Right. Like we've had this conversation, but like, there's a lot of paid influence out there, to share a story that's not always true. So, I think that's our goal is, always like share the real story, the real truth, what you can expect, ways to get better and learn more and find cool spaces in the game of golf. So.
Yeah, and I will say, to give this guy credit at Club Champion, my friend had like an old 3-wood that he was hitting, I think, just as good or better than the new one. He's like, dude, you hit this one pretty good. You don't need a new one. And I think my friend was like, I just would like a new one. So he was honest about that, which is good. But man, I am shocked by just the driver price. Like I remember drivers were like $399, $499.
I know.
Now there's $700.
That is the luxury of being in the industry though, right? Like we know how to get PUD or get some good deals and make things work.
Yep.
And that is a nice attribute of the industry. It's not always the easiest process, but generally can get it worked out. So,
it was interesting. And $400 bag fitting, obviously is wiped away if you buy anything, I guess. But that's pretty steep. But also, like, if they're spending that much time with you and you're hitting 125 shots, like, probably worth it.
Yeah. I from my experience, I'll say, the Kansas City market was I don't remember a lot, but it was an interesting like trainings back then. The Minnesota, like the George Smith was the, I think, manager, but I loved him. Like they only had one back in the old days, and then there's a second one that opened up in the last maybe 2 years, year and a half. But yeah, I always love going in there. The guys, the other guy would either rotate or there'd be a trainee in there. And, but yeah, George was super knowledgeable, very friendly, very honest, like would tell you exactly what you needed to hear. And, but they let me like check my lofts and lies or checked them for me. and helped out with that. And obviously I was training them, and they were appreciative of that. So there's reasons for those, but I've always had good experiences. And then with Miles, again, friend, like he's not not trying to sell me anything, but
Right.
when we went through a couple driver testings way back in the day, he's like, man, nothing you hit is even close to what you hit your current setup. Like, don't change it. And so and I know that's how he handled his actual customers. He's just too honest of a guy. So like, yeah, I think just like with every industry or every bigger company, right? You get some really good people and some not so great people. And, but nonetheless, like you walk out of there and you're probably walking out with 6 to 10 grand in clubs if you're doing a full bag.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yep. Thought it was interesting. I've never seen, haven't seen one of those kind of rundowns in a while. So, the prices shocked me, man. It was
What
crazy.
about the place in Tulsa? Tour Performance Golf?
Tour Quality Golf.
Tour Quality Golf.
Yep.
I mean, that's another one that's like, I would call it a second swing, right? Like they're going to be honest with you. They're not going to try to take every dollar from you and give you the best of the best. Like I know you went through a fitting with them, full bag and got a slick little setup that I'm waiting for you to quit. So I can cut them down and play them, but
the day may be coming soon.
Oh well, the hat got me. The different hat today. I think we're on the path to Dustin having some Miras here soon.
I do have a nice Mira set. They did get me hooked up with the ping driver I have, and the wedges. The
custom lasered, right?
Yep, they lasered on some good stuff for me. But yeah, they don't have like the a million options like Club Champion as far as shafts, but they have all the ones. That's what I was trying to tell my friend, is like all the ones that you would need, like everything you probably got at Club Champion is a nice to have on shafts. You could still get away with a stock, maybe a stock plus. Like there's a lot of options now that you can choose from. I was even looking at the Callaway on like second swing. You can choose from like 6 different shafts.
And then they have some that are like a $50 upgrade or
Right.
80 or 120. Like it does. Yeah. Every shaft doesn't have to be $500 or
Dude,
200 for an iron. Like the iron is the most shocking. I recently bought irons like last year and was looking at upgrade shafts, and the most I saw was like $100, $80, and that was a graphite option. So like,
Yep.
I get it. There's
175
specialties
bucks.
out there, but that's a little excessive.
Yeah,
especially if you're above again like a 2-3 handicap. Like there's not a lot of added benefit at a certain level.
I do wonder if they're I don't know if they would be getting kickbacks from like Arterra or Acura. Like do they promote some shafts over others? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's there's a little bit of like, go sell this or promote this, and there's contests and free stuff and etc. But it's also probably like, hey, this is the hottest shaft of the year, the most used on tour, and that resonates with people, which to our rollback conversation, like, is it club or is it ball? I don't know. Right.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
people are always going to want to play what tour players are playing, even if they're not. So, maybe the fix is the golf ball, right? And not like making the club head size smaller, which we've talked about in the past. Because then you have a bunch of 25 handicaps out there trying to hit the center of a face that's this big instead of this big.
It's going to be hard for all the club companies to say, oh, okay, Scottie's hitting a 220cc or whatever it is, 260cc, but we also sell this great 450cc that you should hit. I don't know. I feel like that story just is not going to land. Based on just the history of how they market. They all, I've never understood why anyone, Scottie, Tiger, all would play like one brand of equipment. Like why would you I don't know. Why do you don't need that money? Why would you like force yourself into something that you may, I mean, the TaylorMade driver, for example, there's many guys who don't like the newer drivers. They still try to play the old, model 3-4 years ago, but they
Yep.
are being forced into the new one because they need to sell that to us, down here at the general public. I just have never understood that model, because if you're Rory, play 6 different brands. I mean, I know Brooks still plays like that old Nike like driving iron, I think that he still has, and he's
Yep.
like, I'll never get rid of it. But it's so hard to unwind that. There's so many people tied together in the corporate level that are making too much money.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about like the baseball side, and they're using wooden bats at a level, and then trying to promote metal bats at a different level, and like, eh, yeah. But you're right with the tradition, like the history. You were always playing what the best players in the world were playing, and you're always like, how am I stacking up against this person from this level? But yeah, I just, maybe there's, maybe there's just no answer, and it's we try a bunch of different things, and
Yeah.
maybe the golf ball works a little bit and helps a little bit. Maybe they have to alter the clubs a little bit. But maybe it's like, hey, I'm thinking like Sweden or anywhere really in Scandinavia and Europe, where they have to play to a certain level to be able to go on the golf course and start competing in tournaments, and joining clubs and etc. So maybe at that level you're starting with a 460cc driver, and it's like, hey, this is just to get you comfortable and acclimated with hitting the center of the face, and or hitting it well, and then when you go and pass this test and make it to a certain level, then you can start using tour equipment. And I know there's a lot of guys and younger guys out there that are like, no, I want to play with the hardest, and
Right.
but I think the goal is, how do we not discourage the people that are new to the game, and make it challenging or unfun or whatever it is, but also make it competitive for the people that are better and trying to get better, and yeah,
I mean,
I
the
think
equipment has helped me out a lot. Like,
big
the
time,
the
all of
driver
us.
has helped me out a ton. Just being able to try to keep it in play, and um, but it's almost like we need a different way of promoting the game, versus it seems like when people talk about growing the game, they just default to hitting it far. Like, oh, we got it. They love the long, love hitting it far, but maybe that's like a messaging of it's okay to play at this, 5,800 yards or 6,000 yards or whatever it is. And this is how you like work your way around the golf course. This is like how you hit a cool shot from, right to left dog leg, and you want to draw it. Like, instead of just, oh, well, guys, we got to bomb it. Like, that's how we grow the game. I don't know. It
Well,
doesn't
again,
seem
that's
like,
the
yeah.
tour, right?
Yeah.
Like the tour, and every statistician out there, and it's get as close as you can to the hole, and you have the best chance to get a low number. And statistically, like, that's correct. So how can you argue
Yeah.
with that? And so I think through, maybe the average amateur doesn't know that or understand that, but all they hear and see on TV is that message. And I'm trying to do what Rory's doing, and
Well,
but
yeah.
I think that's where the golf courses have to get more creative, more fun. The par threes, like, hey, we can go out with the family and play this course, and it's $20, and like, get outside, and it's really interesting. Or executive courses, or the 12, 13 hole courses that you were talking about last time. I think those are all good ways to like grow it without and promote it without like, hey, you have to hit it far. Like, go
Yep.
out and have fun. Play
Yep.
a fun tee. Like, see how low you can go. Whatever it is. Just, yeah, stop trying to hit it as
Yeah.
far as you can every time.
Well, I mean, I think in my personal golf game, I've played better hitting less drivers, and I think we've talked about this a million times. But most amateurs probably have a a unrealistic expectation of their dispersion of their driver, and they
For
think,
sure.
oh, I'm going to hit it far. But our dispersion is not even close to a PGA Tour dispersion of driver. So their miss is still playable. My miss is off the golf course and gone, But when I hit my 3-iron, hybrid 2-iron off the tee, I'm keeping it in play and oh, okay, I have 2 extra clubs into the green, but I'm still in play, and actually playing golf. And I've found it to be a lot more fun to just actually be in the hole, rather than just completely,
Everybody,
like,
right?
yeah, like, and I don't know. It's obviously I hit my driver decently far, but I I don't know where it's going half the time, and so there's no way, like, I should be more focused on doing what I'm doing is laying it back a little bit, and more people could probably do that. I mean, there's a lot of ex-baseball players. There's people that I know who play that still hit the ball decently far, but literally they're going to lose 4 to 6 golf balls around,
Oh yeah.
and that's not growing the game. I mean, that's not growing the game at all. The round's taking 6 hours because they're looking for balls half the time.
Yeah. I mean, again, drive for show, putt for dough, right?
Right.
Like everybody wants to hit it far, and we talked about this way back in like the first or second episode. Almost everybody that comes in, I need to work on my driver the most.
Right.
And it is true. Like that most people, that's their worst club in their bag. I tell everybody it's your longest club in the bag. It's the one you're swinging the furthest or the fastest. The club head's the furthest away from your hands. It's a completely different thought process than your irons. Like you're trying to hit down with irons, up with driver. It changes your pat. Like there's all kinds of stuff that makes it difficult. Now I will say most people don't have the speed that you have, right? Now, if I'm talking to somebody that's, swinging 110 or something, like, yeah, hey, maybe swing the driver smoother or put it down more often.
Right.
And we're going to do some course management stuff. But most of the people I'm working with are like, yeah, they're 90 to 100, 105 and like chasing speed and that's the part of the problem is they're just inefficient in that speed process. And that's what creates the slice or the hook or, whatever the miss is.
So they have to hit driver, a lot of times.
Have to. Yeah. Their 3-wood goes, 180 yards, maybe 200 yards, maybe.
Yep.
And, if they're playing the 5,500, 5,800 tees, like, yeah, that might be playable. But I have one of my guys running through, I can't remember the name of the course, but there's one in TrackMan with like 8-10 different tees. And it starts at like 2,000 yards for a par 70, 72 course. So like you can go out and I think I shot like 15 under one day. Just how low can I go? Have a blast. But I had this guy, look, you need to go break 90 at each one of these tees. And obviously the first handful, he like broke it the first go round. And now he's up to like the 6,500 yard range. And he's usually playing like 6,200 yards, and he shot like 91 the other day. And I'm like, his average is around 100 to 105. And like, look, you can do it. Like if you're playing your normal 6,300 length course, like you just shot probably 85, like 88, if you putt the same way that you putt indoors, which is always a challenge. But, but yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to make the game more fun and again, just pump the driver. But in the same breath, like you do have to be able to hit a driver at a certain level or age or swing speed to still keep up the enjoyment. And so, yeah.
Well, if you want to be competitive at any type of level, like you have to hit the driver well, 100%. Straight and far. Like that's just it.
Yep. I mean, yeah, look at Phil's lack of success early in his career is he couldn't hit driver. Like he was trying everything, mini drivers and all these things. And so like, once he got into a rhythm at a certain point in his career and started hitting driver a little bit better and, started seeing a lot more success. So, it's key. And, but I think that leads into what I want to talk about next. It just today with kind of a mix up of sorts, and like not knowing what to do. I spent a little more time online than I should have. But I did see an interesting message or post from a gentleman that I think's an instructor, and he just like highlighted some things in the industry that he wished were different, and I agreed wholeheartedly. And he didn't call anyone out in particular, like no names dropped, but there were a lot of names that you could gather from this if you're in our position and know a lot of the instructors and different people out there. But the first one that I took away was like, there's a lot of ways to do things, right? There's no one way, and yes, there are some things that are known and understood in physics and mechanics and things of that nature. But Scottie Scheffler swings the club a lot different than Tiger Woods, and both have been very successful, and they've all swung the club different than Hogan and Nelson and Jack and Arnie, and like there's a lot of ways to have success. And one of my favorite things to do with students is like, hey, Jim Furyk shot a 58 on tour, right? And that's a unique golf swing. So I agree with that. Like, we don't have to be that there's only one way to do it. This is the right way. Like, yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. It's just how can you communicate that or be communicated that if you're on the instruct or the student side of the equation. And then the second, and this is the one that like, it just always grinds my gears. It's like the online YouTube, social media person that's like, oh, you slice it, fix it in 5 minutes with this drill, or, gain 5 strokes or drop 5 strokes if you do this one swing change. Like, it's ridiculous, right? And I know you've gone down some of those rabbit holes.
I've gone down the rabbit holes, man. I have too many videos saved of that rabbit hole. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just it's very easy to like see that and believe it and go, oh man, I'm pumped. I'm gonna go hit balls and get better, and then you're just drilling something completely incorrect for you, or you misunderstood it, and to the lesson side of things, like that's why I do things the way I do. We don't do one-off lessons, series, packages. Just there's you have to have a plan for you. Otherwise, you're going to increase your thoughts. It's going to make you, try harder, which we know in the golf swing generally makes things go worse. And yeah, it's just overall a kind of a bad equation.
I think also too, when you don't have that coach, able to kind of like put hands on you, and you may misinterpret what that person said on the YouTube video of, oh, you need to, close the door with your hips on the way down. It's like, what does that mean? That may lead to them, really clearing out, and all of a sudden they're coming over the top. And, there's just so many things that a coach may say online that you take one way, or you don't know how to, like, maybe you learn better in person, or learn from observing, or learn from like physical, like being put in that position where you may be thrown like way out of whack just from looking at that video and misinterpreted. So I think you're spot on with like you having a series and a lesson and like a whole plan where you're working with them in person to make sure that they're understanding what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep. And one point to that, I tell pretty much every student, like, look, I'm not telling you don't get on YouTube and look at videos and try to find different ways to think about things. Like, you might find a drill that helps better than everything that I've told you on how to improve this one area that we're working on. Just bring it to me or send it to me. Like, don't sit there and practice this drill for 2 weeks and then come to me and like, hey, you're doing the exact opposite of what we're trying to do. And, this guy told me to feel this. And it's happened that way where, there's misinterpretation on what they were thinking and what I had told them to do. And so they were, working on path on the way down. And it's like, dude, we're working on your elbows at the top. Like,
Right.
we're not even close to there yet. So, yeah. And then another like Today I'm watching either the par 3 or live from the Masters, and I think it was Brandel is like, Scottie Scheffler steepens the shaft. The best players in the world steepen the shaft. And it's like Scottie does not, like that shaft is flattening out. Like, yes, his hands go out, but the shaft itself is flattening in the downswing. And like, it just, there's a lot of people out there that, yeah, they talk and it's their way of gaining the popularity and the views and the clicks and but
Well,
I
and that's been
support it.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
support it because it sends people to me so broken that they're at the point of like, I
they
will
need
pay you whatever.
100 pack.
Exactly. I want 2 lessons a week every week for the next year. So and it's super rewarding hearing somebody go, I've taken 5-10 lessons throughout my life, and it's always been like quick fixes or not very well communicated, and I've already shaved virtually 5 strokes off, and we'll see. This summer is going to be the real test if we're making progress. But yeah, just a lot of people are getting better a lot faster because they understand the plan, they buy into it, they trust it, they make the changes, they practice it, and so I hope the golf world gets better at that. Based on what I see out there, it's only going to get worse, and I'm going to see more and more broken people, broken golf swings over the next few years. But yeah, it's yeah.
Well, because it was like everyone gets shallow, that was the thing, and now it's like, oh, everyone get a little bit steeper, and all this, and then those coaches just attach onto that, and like, oh, 10 drills to get more shallow. And
Yep.
you got some guy at home trying to get shallow and completely like messing up their golf swing, right? Like,
I've seen some fun ones.
Yeah.
It's like, look, this is what, blah, blah, blah told me. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
Whatever you're thinking, stop thinking that and do something else.
I mean, we got Grant Horvat giving tips out now. I mean, like,
really?
Yeah, it's gone too far. We gotta.
Yeah. And a little into the PGA side, right? Like I think you saw some information out there on PGA Coach. I saw some different information out there on PGA Coach. Like, it doesn't sound, unfortunately, like it's even gonna get better, right? Like now it's the PGA. I'll let you tell what you read, because
it's
very interesting.
PGA Coach is a platform that is available to all PGA members, and from my understanding, I haven't used it, I haven't been in the teaching side. It's meant to help you organize your lessons and get leads and put your players in, and just kind of like have a place where you can get people in. Now that version's still alive, but they have a paid version now, which gives you access to, more leads or better, from my understanding, it looked like if you want to get leads, you got to pay now the PGA whatever amount. I think it could have been a minuscule, like $25 a month or $25 a year. I don't know, but it's more of now this thing that we already pay dues for, we already have paid a lot of money, was free. And now you're going to, nickel and dime us another $25 to make sure that we get the best leads, and it's the same way with, this is a whole nother topic, but the job search, the PGA, career, those are, that's a big LinkedIn discussion. I come across a lot of the conflict of interest of those people, because they work for the PGA. So who, what jobs are they promoting, or who are they picking to go to that head pro job, or, does that club or that organization donate money, or like, there's so much into it versus having a completely third party, find the best candidate and truly give a like unbiased opinion. That's the big debate on LinkedIn, is those career people work for the PGA of America. And we know that the PGA of America is pretty much, corrupt in who they're giving what to. So like, not saying that the people that do the hiring are doing it, but it looks from the
Perception.
outside of a conflict of interest, you know.
Yeah. To the PGA coach note, I'm on PGA coach.
Okay.
I've gotten one lead, two maybe one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure one lead in like 5 months that I've been on there. I haven't seen anything about a paid option. So I don't know if that's coming or if that's already here, or maybe I have to log in to see that, but no communication whatsoever via email or other methods. Maybe I just need to dive deeper into the PGA magazine.
You got to pay to play, man. You want some
Got to
leads,
pay to
you
play,
got-
but that's yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I would never pay like for
Right.
one lead. If that's the expectation, or you know what's kind of unless maybe there's different promotion levels that I'm not even aware of now. But yeah, I don't know how that world works. I haven't dug into it. Most of our leads are you know, through our own resources, and then the biggest is referrals and you know, people saying the good word out there. So yeah, it's luckily we're not in that, but again, a lot of what we talked about last week, I go into the younger person that's, you know, assistant pro and their first gig, they're at a public course, they're trying to get lessons. You know, hey, I signed up for this PGA coach app. I'm pumped, and like 0 leads, and like, oh, I got to pay $25 a month if that's the case.
Yeah.
It's my goodness.
Right.
But like, you know, I'm already paying more than a couple $100s a year to this organization. And like, yeah, it's a lot of bad taste, man.
You'd probably just do better running ads on your own, you know, and
Yeah.
I would hope that the PGA is running ads on your behalf, you know, like to get these leads. I don't know where they're getting these leads from, but yeah, you like at the barn, you're going to do way better running your own ads and, you know, still labeling yourself as PGA certified, all that stuff. But you're going to get way more attention because you can target specifically the neighborhoods and the people that you want to reach out to versus I don't even know where the PGA is like getting these people from.
They do like definitely during the PGA championship, a lot of ads throughout that of like my PGA coach.
True.
And it's always trying to drive people to the PGA coaching website or PGA coach website. And then they have like, if you Google PGA lessons or like it's going to take you, that's going to be one of the top hits. So, you know, I think that's where it is. You enter your zip code, it shows you the nearest handful of people. But yeah, it's the one person that's ever reached out. It was a gift for his son, that, you know, he didn't even live in the area, just typed in his son's zip code, and I think I was the closest person. Yeah, it worked out. It's an interesting thing there. But yeah, to keep forward on the PGA checks, like get better. Like this is sad. That it's just everything's becoming paid. And then I have an email here for you. I wish we could share. I don't know if maybe we can here for a second. But this is it looks a little different on the website than the phone. But you have on the phone, you have 3 straight ads, a little like weekly spot note, and then there's this tiny link when it's on your phone that says read the latest edition here, and I'm, you know, like this, and then you get 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 you get 18 ads single just in a row. 2 hemispheres, oh, here we go. Avendra clubs. There's our shafts. There's the promotion.
Artura?
Oh no, it's Avendra.
No.
So that must be something different. But yeah, Easy Go, Flagged, Golf Genius, like it's just ad. So you have 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 ads, and then 1 link in the middle of all that. Like good luck finding it.
And
just
the
keeps getting
Squeeze
better.
Fade podcast has 0 ads, so we'll just put that out there.
Correct. We are still not sponsored by anybody, even though we discussed the TGL and Titleist opportunities earlier.
Right. We're still searching. But no, that's good. Yeah, it's I keep probably once a week I find another LinkedIn thread that some guys is upset with the PGA about something. So I think one of these times maybe we coordinate, all the threads together, or we bring someone on, but it's mostly around transparency on the financial records. We have no insight into that. It's the PGA career consultants, and then it's the how much they spend on the logo. That's always a big one. That's always a big one.
That one, I got deep into that world before I deleted the LinkedIn back in the day. Like, I mean, it was $3 million or something for the redesign.
Least, yeah,
and just like, terrible. Like
terrible.
I didn't like the old logo, and I like the new one more, but it's not something I'm like super proud to throw on gear. And
I kind of like the old better than the new. Honestly. Like
only
because it just seems more
professional.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
100%.
And now it seems like it's in Comic Sans font, like with a crest. Like
it's like it seems like you get this when you graduate like 8th grade or something. Like you're PGA certified now.
And then, I mean, the other nuances, which you probably know from those threads, but like, what do you do for a certified professional and a master professional now? Like they didn't think that through. There's no logo set up for those. And then, all the like PGA Junior League, they had to redesign that logo because that had the old logo tied into it. And like, there's so many things that weren't thought of, and the amount of money that was spent on that is just, Christy Gnome levels of debauchery there.
Love it. Anything else in the holster there that you want to get off your chest for this episode?
Well, are we tying it up, or do you have some other topics?
That's it for me. I think I don't know if we want to tease next episode of kind of what we're planning, but I'll let you take that one away.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So first and foremost, like pumped for the Masters the next few days, and we'll definitely get into that down the road, talking into some of those things. But next week is my favorite week of the year now, and likely your favorite week of the year as well. Yep. But it's Old Course Reversed week. So all the lottery winners probably flying over to Scotland this week or next. They're playing next, I think, Saturday, and then the following Monday, Tuesday, I believe, the reverse routing. And it looked like the same setup this year, Castle, St. Andrews, and then reversed. So we're going to, on the next episode, which I think is going to be filmed a little earlier, so we may not dive into the Masters details too much. But we're just going to dive into that trip. One, how we got there, how we planned it, the fun things on the front end of it, the weather watching, the things we learned as we were going to the airport from Miles. I don't know if you even remember that, but and then talk our golf experiences over there, and why we're so fond of golf in Scotland, and how well we were treated as PGA professionals. On top of just the culture and things. So we'll share some insights maybe some of the listeners out there are on that trip or know somebody that's going on that trip, and you have a long flight ahead, download the podcast, hear Austin's favorite coffee shop and our favorite restaurant, and our favorite golf experience and what to expect, and what to look for in caddies. There's just a lot of really unique and interesting things that we're going to dive into, and I have some fun stuff from the barn side that's going into play in the next day or two. So we'll see some cool, reversed items in the club now. And highlight some of those maybe in the podcast. But anything to add on the what's next or what you're thinking?
I mean, I'm interested to see kind of like where you rank the courses that you played over there, because obviously like Old Course Reverse, we went there for that, but we did add on some other some other courses around, that trip. So I'm
Yep.
excited to dive into some of those. You had a little extra special, kind of day that you had when I wasn't there. And so I'd love to hear some more on that. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting where we rank the courses.
100%.
And looking at it from,
it's going to be different than what you might expect.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you definitely, and then the viewer out there is going to look at me and go, do you even play golf? So it's might be eye-opening.
Yep. No, I'm pumped. We tried to win the lottery again, obviously, and I'm sure we're blacklisted, at this point from
I used a different email. Don't worry.
No, they will find you. They will find
Oh yeah,
you.
they know. They know.
But no, congrats to everyone. It was one of the best, if not the best, trips of my life for sure. Going over there. So excited to dive into it. That'll be released. What are we thinking? Probably middle to end of next week as people are flying over.
My hope was by like Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Yep.
We have it up and running, ready to go. Maybe a few teaser clips coming over the weekend.
Yep.
As you're watching the Masters, you can just dream of something special that's in your very close future.
And you got the Open
and who
on
knows?
the horizon
Maybe you
too,
see Tiger over there. Maybe that's his international treatment. He said he's always wanted to play the
That's
whole course
true.
reversed.
There's some healing powers over there.
Dude, 100%. My homework for you, which I think I've already told you this before, and maybe you've already done it. Golf in the Kingdom.
I read it leading up to the event.
Yeah. Yep. I read that about once every other year. It's just such a good just get out of your head and go hit a golf ball and it's fun and so but that's a really good read if you need something going over to Scotland as you're planning your travels maybe a week early and getting a few early rounds in.
Perfect. Well, I look forward to it, and we will catch you on the Old Course Reverse.
One last note.
Yes.
Where's Don Ray? Our milk carton is up and out. We need to find him.
I have some time tomorrow. I may call Augusta Ranch down in Arizona and just say, hey guys, we haven't seen our president since September.
We need to check in.
Is everything going well?
I didn't see anything about him from the Masters, so I don't know if he's out there. I guess there's not really a PGA affiliation out there other than our access to tournaments.
Well, he's now focused on us now, instead of everything else. So he doesn't.
Cool. Had a blast. And really pumped for the next one as well.
Cool. We'll see you then.
See ya.